Right. In the last video, we covered the principle of meta-attitude and how attitude plays an important role in managing any situation, emotion, and problem outcomes. I then laid out the basic rules of the meta-mind game that you will need to pass before moving on to the next section. And to help you with this meta-mind game, I've covered the W-square method, a tool that you can use to turn around any problem in any situation and control your emotions. In this video, however, I'm going to talk to you about the second tool, which can also help you in your quest to maximize your energy and to have a worry-free mind. The second tool is called the FUCK methodology. This second technique is inspired from the book written by Mark Manson, The Art of Not Giving a Fuck. As you might understand from the title of the book, this is a sort of a radical approach to anything, but overall, he has some good points, which are definitely useful if you want to relax your mind and change things in general. Basically, in the book, Mark Manson outlines that the key to living well is to give a fuck about less things. With the rise of technology, communication, internet news, and social media, we experience today an information rush that the majority of people are unable to process in a practical way. So much information that we do not know anymore what to give a fuck about. We do not know how to separate the right things from the wrong. I mean, come on. Back in 2000, you had to go on TV to see snapping videos of random things just coming at you. But today, it's on your phone. And you have to watch it, and it's constantly there, and it's always pounding, 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 pounding. This is why we don't know how to put aside our differences anymore and focus on what really matters. And again, this goes back to my earlier story and the importance of setting priorities in life. We therefore need to stop giving a fuck about everything and only give a fuck about the things which are important. For example, getting all worked up on Facebook because someone said something not nice about one of your pictures is giving a fuck about something which is not important. Do you think celebrities or politicians get worked up over critics they receive? No, otherwise they would go nuts. The same goes for getting all worked up on the phone with a salesperson because their product doesn't work. Is giving a fuck too much? The salesperson, which you're talking to, is here to actually help you. He's here to make things better for you. And the reason the product doesn't work is not his fault. So, working with him to get the issue solved is more important than making your mind jump through emotional hoops just to get there. Finally, being mad and holding a grudge against your partner because he or she left the wet sponge in the sink, or left their clothes and shoes all over the place, or because they talked about their past, usually involving an ex-partner, or because they did not answer the phone within the amount of time that you wanted them to answer, is giving a fuck about too much. It's fucking useless. Alright? Honestly, life is too short to get worked up and upset about petty fights and arguments. There are more important things which deserve your real attention. And those examples are not one of them. In his words, Mark Manson therefore gives us 3 subtleties to follow. Number 1, not giving a fuck is not about being indifferent. It just means that you're comfortable with being different. Don't say fuck to everything in life. Just to the unimportant things. So basically, what he means is to simplify your thoughts and emotions to the bare minimum and only focus on what is important and what really matters. His second advice is to not give a fuck about adversity or misfortune. You must first care about something more than adversity. If you find yourself constantly giving too many fucks about insignificant shit that troubles you, chances are you don't have much going on in your life to give a fuck about. Therefore, finding the right fuck-worthy fucks becomes the priority. In other words, pick your battles. Really choose the things where you want to argue or give a fuck over. Because in the end, there are so many things out there that will mess with you. But those things will only mess with you if you let it happen. And for his final subtlety, whether you realize it or not, you are always choosing what to give a fuck about. The key is to gradually prune the things you care about so that you only give a fuck on the most important of occasions. In his argument, Mark Manson simply suggests that the key to do this is practice. Practicing to let bygones be bygones and letting go of your emotions signifies gradually changing the way you think and releasing the things which used to make you angry or upset in the past. So in conclusion, the idea of not giving a fuck is a simple way of reorienting your expectations for life and choosing what is important versus what is not. And once again, similar to the W-square method, his thought process is to oversimplify things and give only a fuck about the real stuff. So in the context of this course and this meta mind game, how can you use the Mark Manson approach? Here is how you do it. During the meta-mind game, if you're faced with a situation which might make you lose it or which might throw you off, the only question you should be asking yourself is, should I really give a fuck about this? And I really want to stress on the importance of using the verb fuck in this context, because it allows you to think a bit dirty and direct. But by actually asking yourself the question as it is, it's the only way to really question the importance of anything. Another way to rephrase it would go like this. Is this shit really that important? Is it really worth my fucking time and energy? Will I actually still give a fuck about this tomorrow? How about in a week? Or maybe how about in a month? If I decide to give a fuck about this, is it going to benefit me in any way? Why get angry at things if anger doesn't change anything? Why am I telling myself that I have been harmed? All these questions are perfect examples of how to trick your mind into giving a fuck or not. And it all starts by talking to that little voice inside your head. Either you let it fuck with you, or you simply reason with it. It's that simple. Using this aggressive but effective approach is sure to help you get around most issues and stay away from them. Here are a few examples. Let's say a friend that you know did something shitty to you or others around you. But it just so happens that you don't give a fuck about shitty friends anyways. So either you're going to tell him straight to his face the way you really feel to resolve the situation, or just forget about him or her and stick to the actual friends that are there for you, not against you. Another example is a guy or girl looked at you in a weird way that you didn't like. But you are judgment-free. Nothing or no one can and will disrupt you because you just don't give a fuck anymore. Toxic people are a waste of time, and getting into a fight, a bar fight, or wherever it is because you got looked at the wrong way doesn't make things any easier. So fuck that person and move on. Another example, the final one. Your boss just gave you a hard time. Well, he's the boss. And if he doesn't like the work that you ended in, tough luck. Maybe he can have something to say about it. Obviously, he doesn't need to be a dick about it. But who gives a fuck? It's nothing that you can't solve anyways or fix. After all, it's not the first time nor the last time that he's going to get angry at you or someone else. So move on, right? Things will be easier. Just relax. One more example. You just had an argument with your partner over something as ridiculous as taking out the trash. You're both not talking to each other anymore, but guess what? Guess who is going to take the upper hand and solve the issue and reason things out? You will. Because again, there is more to life than simple arguments which just work you up for nothing and prevent you from sleeping. So, take your ego, give it a good rub, all right? Slap it in the face, swallow it whole, and get your shit together. Now, I could go on and on with thousands and thousands of blunt, straightforward, in-your-face examples. But I think you get the point. Bottom line, your mind is your most precious asset, and giving a fuck about too much is a waste of your time, your energy, and your health. So, during the meta mind game, don't forget to use it to calm your nerve. In the next video, I will cover the final tool that will help you pass the meta mind game. It's called the win-win standpoint. See you in the next video. And don't forget, leave your comments as usual. I will reach each and every one of them.